Realism Center. Linie Blendlight nicht.
Alright guys, so welcome to Frankfurt Airport. This is the one by Aerosoft and it's Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. The reason I made this video is to showcase the AIG. Yes, that's right, Alpha India Group traffic. To be honest, it got so far that I actually deleted FSLTL models. Believe me or not, I did deleted FSLTL models. AIG has so many varieties, like there's so much option, and I haven't even installed all of them, to be honest. I just did the global installation. They have now brand new installers, and I will demonstrate it in a moment. So it's basically one-click installer, much more easier process than it used to be before. The only thing is it's gonna take some time. The European airlines, it took me about an hour just to cover Europe, you know, all the basic ones, such as KLM, Air France, British Airways and all that. And then I have installed also a global one, which was just about 2 hours. So you can leave it installing. You can literally go away from your PC and just let it install. Another thing, in my opinion, you will gain few frames per second. Maybe not so much, but there is definitely difference. As you can see, I'm sitting at Frankfurt Airport. I have my traffic via Beyond ATC injector set at 6, all the positions, and I'm getting really good frames. It's just stunning. Once you install the basic traffic, you can also go back and install any other models and airlines of your selection, which I'm going to demonstrate as well. You know very well that busy airports such as Frankfurt or London, Heathrow, or even Amsterdam, if you have a proper traffic walking, and now with the integration of Beyond ATC controlling traffic, it's a game changer. And I guarantee you, you will love these models. They are absolutely beautiful. I 100% recommend it, okay? Now, do you have to delete FSLTL? Well, not. You don't have to do that. I'm not controlling the traffic right now with FSLTL injector. I'm controlling it now with Beyond ATC, which in my opinion is the best combination. With AIG models, what you'll get is the actual working flaps. So as soon as the aircraft push back from the gate, it will actually set the proper flap settings for the takeoff. So it's visible on the models itself. You can see that the flaps are set for takeoff. So the flaps are animated properly, which again does add to realism in my opinion. And again, guys, I am not telling you go ahead and uninstall FSLTL. I did it personally because I am super happy with AIG models. If any of you have FSLTL injector working with AIG traffic, please leave me a comment, let us know. That'll be much appreciated. So I am controlling these models with Beyond ATC, as I mentioned. So that's enough of talking. Let's jump to Windows and I'll teach you how to set it up. Alright guys, so here we are at Alpha India Group website. So in order to install AIG traffic or the models, you need to download something from this website. Notice they have this new article, AI Manager Beta for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. If we click on this, there will be a GitHub link, okay? Some general information. There's also an important info for people. I repeat, this is specifically for people who already have AI Manager from AIG installed, maybe for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, most likely. So if you do have it, then you have to follow this. For anyone who doesn't have the AIG installed at all, or AI Manager at all you have to do is just click on this link and you will get a GitHub link and you will download the zip file AIG AI Manager 1.3.0.5. That's the latest version, okay? So once you download it, you have to unzip it anywhere in your computer. Within the folder, once you unzip it, you have to double click on AIG Tech AI Manager. When you do that, notice there will be a drop-down menu here, okay? So you select MSFS 2024 and click OK. It's gonna take a couple seconds to load. Okay guys, so once you open it, you will see something similar to this. In my case, obviously I have already some models, well, all the models and some flight plans installed, so you most likely would have 0 over here. Now, what is very important in the beginning, and this is a crucial step because I have made mistake in the beginning and I had to reinstall it. I have installed this OCI package in the beginning to actual community folder of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. But as I was installing the different flight plans and the models, it was constantly showing me the window, like a pop-up window, saying something like the path is too long, 255 characters limit. It may create some issues within the simulator. So I was kind of just clicking OK. And obviously what happened later, some of the models within the simulator were displaying incorrect textures or inverted textures or basically all messed up textures, and it looked so ugly. And ideally, you shouldn't put it to some path which is way too long. So in my case, notice that the file is installed on my E drive, and then I have created a folder, and then that file AIG-AI traffic-OCI, that's the one which was installed into the folder of my choice. But notice that I made it as short as possible, meaning like you don't want to put it somewhere which has already a long path. And if you know what I'm talking about, a community folder is located and the path to community folder is just way too long and you want to avoid it, okay? So this is really super important. Please listen to me. Select the drive of your choice and make sure that the path is as short as possible. You might be asking now, how does the simulator reads later on all these models if it's not within community folders? Don't worry, I'll answer that after I point out some details. So that's what you have to do in the beginning. You will select it and you will follow on-screen instructions until it installs, and then it says something package detected, okay? It's really not that difficult as it sounds, but that's the first step you have to do. You have to create that OCI package folder. The next step, once you do that, is to go to quick install. Notice how it says quick install. So they have some selections here. Now, Asia and South America, it's not active within the quick install. Doesn't mean that you wouldn't get any Asian or South America textures or basically models or liveries, if I put it this way. You will get them, but you have to later select it manually. Or you will also get them once you decide to install the global. I installed Europe first. Now, bear in mind, guys, this is also an important for you, just so you know, okay? Before you jump into this procedure, make sure you have some time, because this does take some time. But I guarantee you, at the end of the day, it's worth it. At least in my personal opinion, my honest opinion, it's totally worth it, okay? So only the Europe package took me about, I think I measured it, it was like 1 hour, 15 minutes, something like that. And that was just a Europe basic package. So all the most familiar airlines within the Europe and flight plans. Then I did Africa, which was much quicker. And North America was about an hour or 30 minutes, something like that. It wasn't long. And then the global. I did the global at the end. And the global took me, well, that was good 3 hours. I had my computer on, to be honest. So that's why I said it does take some time. But it's a one-click installer. This is something what they did differently than before. That's not all. Once you do that, okay, notice that there is a tab over here on the left. It says flight plans. If I click on it, first tab on the top, subcategory, will be installed. So over here, if I scroll down, you will see all the airlines and traffic plans or flight plans installed, which I already have done, okay? Most of them are via the one-click installers, and I have also added some of them manually, which I will show you in a second. So these In the installed section, you will see all of them, which you already did install. Now, if I click here in online, right next to it, it says online tab. Notice that there is, I think it's 1000, okay, not installed, 1664. So there is still plenty to choose from if I want to install some more. I will demonstrate, let's say that I want some airline, right? And it's also separated, which is very easy to navigate, because you can see that, for instance, this air partner would be GA corporate. So you would expect some models and textures, liveries, which is a GA corporate kind of airlines, right? But let's say I want this Aero Mexico Connect. So first thing first, if you click on it, you will select it, right? You can either click on the checkbox or you can just click on it once over here and it will take a selection, all right? And then all you have to do is install. Click that little green button next to it. Once I do that, another windows will pop up and this will show me what type of region will be covered with this installation. So all the routes scheduled for Aero Mexico Connect, and you will see also visual reference with the map. You will see how many airports are covered with these flight plans, how many aircrafts would be using this particular livery, and how many variation we have in this package, and how many legs, okay? So utilization in about 38%, that's quite big. So if you are flying around this region, it would be most likely worth it, right? I would click on this OCI install. That's why it's called now one-click button. I click on it once, and then I don't have to do anything, just click on install again. Then this does the job. It really depends how big is the airline. As you can see, this is done, and now it disappeared from the list, and now is installed. If I go here, Aero Mexico Connect is now showing as installed. I can do also the bulk selection. I will show you how. So let's say that I want to install Air Tahiti. So I will click on it. Then I will hold Control button, left control, and maybe I want to install Air Transit. I will hold the control button on your keyboard and click here. Now I have a 2 selected, right? When I do that, I have to click on OCI bulk, and then it opens the same windows and it doesn't ask me automatically to hit install because I selected bulk one, or basically 2 airlines at the same time. So it does the job automatically. You just have to let it run, okay? Again, it should be fairly fast because these are not such a big airlines. And now when this finish with all the models, it'll jump to the second selection of yours, which was this one. As you can see, it did it all automatically. I didn't have to click on anything. That's why if you multi-select, let's say additional 30 airlines and you want to walk away from the computer, you can totally do that and just let it install in background, okay? Now I will repeat. The selections here are done after I have installed base packages. Obviously, the ideal would be to select all of them, all of these 1661 and have it installed. But that could be quite lengthy. I would say that'll be whole night. But speaking of that, you need to make sure you do have enough space on your drive of the selection for that file, right? It's probably at least 100 gigabytes recommended. So please make sure you have a space. It'll take some space on your drive, okay? So this is how it works. Now, later you have some settings over here, which is also an important one. If you click over here, then there is a tab called AIG, AIM, OCI. Click on that. And you have few options here. Now, by default, I believe that only load OCI package, make sure it's selected by default. This is your current path of that installation folder. And then keep use freeware only. And what is this disable services? Well, this one is all those gate services. You basically will disable all the Microsoft Flight Simulator services on ground for those OCI aircrafts. You can keep them enabled if you unclick it, there will be no issue with that. However, it might be more heavier on your system because then you will have a combination of OCI, ground service, and also your MSFS. So I keep it disabled. And then you have a couple options, verify setup. If you have some issues with textures, verify texture format, reset sim objects. So I haven't really messed with that. I didn't have a reason to mess with it. However, what I mentioned before, and this is something which is really important, okay, is that now since we have that AIG-AI traffic-OCI installed on separate folder, which is not in our community folder, you have to later create a link, okay? So you have two options. You can either use, if you have an add-on linker, somewhere installed, and maybe you do if you are linking your add-ons from different drive to your community folder. So you can, by any means, you can use that and make sure you will link this AIG-AI traffic-OCI to your community folder with add-on linker, or you can create a link and follow on-screen instruction. It's super easy, guys. You should not make any mistakes there. It's basically 2 steps easy. And it will automatically create link to community folder of the MSFS 2024, okay? So within the AI manager, you don't really have to mess with anything else. That'll be pretty much it. We also have this traffic controller, which you can download from AIG website, okay? Also, selection here. So make sure you select MSFS 2024, click OK. And then this will take a few seconds to load as well. Let's repeat. This is an optional, okay? This is basically just like an injector. If you don't want to use Beyond ATC, or maybe you don't have Beyond ATC, then if you want to display the traffic from AIG within the simulator, you probably most likely need this, okay? You either need this or you need FSHUD, which I cannot comment on because I don't own FSHUD, but I know it does work. Or you can use FSLTL injector, but in my personal testing phase, FSLTL injector was not really working well. At least not for me on 2 airports or one of the airport I have tested it. It was some issue with traffic was not moving, to be honest. So, and this one is super easy. You have a status up and running, traffic injector enabled, activity level 100. You can lower it if your system suffers, let's say. And then ground operations, you can also change the activity level of the actual ground operations provided by AIG. So in my case, I keep it at 70%. There is a settings button here as well, where you can, again, injection, you can mess with it, inject traffic, delete traffic, that's self-explanatory. Keep this checked, use AIG, auto injection on startup. And then you have traffic manager, which is inactive here, and endport manager, enable extra ground traffic. You can also disable it if you don't want it and then save it, okay? Now, once you open the simulator and you spawn onto airport of your choice, all you have to do is open this traffic controller. And once you do, it'll start injecting all those models according to the flight plans, which were installed via OCI packages in the AIG manager. Does it make sense? So it's not the actual traffic controller, meaning it's not an ATC, just like Beyond ATC does the 2 things, basically injecting traffic and also control the traffic. Now, this is the AI traffic based on the flight plans which were downloaded in those OCI packages of your airlines, okay, of those models. Okay, so it'll be departing and arriving depending on those flight plans. That's pretty much all from me now. Also consider to subscribe, as it definitely helped my channel to grow. I would appreciate that. And leave a like if you like my content. Leave some comments. I'll be more than happy to answer. I hope you will have a good blast with your new traffic models in the sim. And I'll see you in the virtual skies. All the best, guys. Thank you. Thank you for support.